Final at picturesque Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney. And good news for the big home following. Kerry's injured stars Noel O'Mahony and Pat Spillane are fit to play after all, in a team captained by the great Jack O'Shea and backboned by two other All-Ireland stars, Charlie Nelligan in goal and Ambrose O'Donovan at midfield, alongside Noel O'Mahony. Pat Spillane at 35 is a player of vast experience and much honoured. The Temple No stalwart has adorned the game for all of 16 years and is a member of that small select band who've won no fewer than 8 All-Ireland senior medals. There's one change on the Limerick team. Dan Larkin, one of their 2 rugby stars, is out with a broken finger, and he's replaced by number 20 PJ Garvey, who'll play beside the other rugby star Kerry-born Philip Danaher, while the third well-known Limerick man in today's lineup is former county hurler Danny Fitzgerald at full forward. The team is captained by left half-back Liam Barrett. In sharp contrast to Pat Spillane, Philip Danaher of Limerick, though widely acclaimed for his rugby prowess, is a county senior football novice. He's playing in only his 3rd championship match, and he's not yet figured in the honours list. Referee Paddy Russell of Tipperary starts a Munster final that sees Kerry bidding to bridge a 5-year gap. That's a famine by their high standards, but the first attack of the match is for Limerick. A dramatic chance. The referee has gone in, and I think it's a penalty. After 10 seconds of play. Well, a great pleasure to welcome Brian McAniff, the Donegal team manager, to the commentary position. And Brian, what a dramatic, sensational start.
A great start for Limerick, a great ball by Philip Danaher, probing ball and very quickly onto it, the corner forward. And although Timmy Cummins shot a point, Paddy Russell was right up at the play and he seemed to push to the back and is rightly awarded a penalty kick in this very first 10 seconds.
Limerick's big feeling about this Munster final was that they did not want to concede an early goal. Perhaps they'll get one. Scored by James O'Donovan.
A marvellous strike by the young corner forward O'Donovan. And what a great start for Limerick. It's really what the game needed, I feel, Jim. Grand strike there to Charlie Nelligan's top right-hand corner, and although he went full length, he failed to take it.
John Kwan just letting it slip as Pat Spillane came in to help Noel O'Mahony. Limerick well in control of that one. Paddy Yves, there was a slight injury doubt about the full-back. Indeed, he's heavily bandaged and he was in a little bit of trouble there getting in that clearance. Brian McAniff, a word about the Limerick full-back. There is concern about him,
I can see that he's fairly heavily strapped up his left side and he was very sluggish in getting that ball away and he put his corner back into trouble, but lucky enough for them it went over the sideline for a line ball.
Jack O'Shea, the Kerry captain, doing well to keep that one in play. He'd read it well. Trying for the point, Jack O'Shea. And that was almost a cheeky one, nonchalantly stroking that one over the bar.
I noticed that Jacko and Maurice Fitzgerald have changed. Jacko's at the edge of the square with Maurice taking up a left half forward position. And I do notice Pat Spillane put his knee quite heavily bandaged and not just quite as mobile as would normally associate with Pat Spillane at this stage.
So, fascinating changes in the Kerry attack. Maurice Fitzgerald at left half forward, Jack O'Shea at full forward. Jack O'Shea looking for the pass there, called well for Jack O'Shea, and then tripped as he got that one in. A great cheer went up around Fitzgerald Stadium as Jacko went back into the fray. This is Maurice Fitzgerald, an expert free taker, one of the best in the business. Driving that ball in, dangerously so, and the goalkeeper did well. But a good touch there by Pa Dennehy, punching that one over the bar. Having the presence of mind to be aware of the change in the rules, you can punch the ball directly over the bar now. A point for Kerry. It might easily, however, have been a goal, but for the vigilance of the Limerick keeper.
Yeah, it was an excellent reflex save of the Limerick goalkeeper. He didn't spot the ball coming until very, very late. It took a deflection and all of a sudden he had it, but he didn't get grasp of it. But Pa Dennehy done great work there to take a box point, so rarely seen now in Gaelic football.
Pat Spillane waiting for the break, but there's no break. Noel O'Mahony caught that one cleanly, but he was pushing, and referee Paddy Russell was right on the spot to note it and act accordingly. A free for Limerick. Driven in by John Kwan. Morgan Nick's gone back to cover for Kerry shrewdly as Timmy Cummins takes on Stephen Stack. Trying to go round him when he's outside there. Stephen Stack getting in a tiny little interception, but conceding a 45.
I noticed at this stage that, Jim, that Timmy Fleming is actually playing out inside his own half, and they've only left the two front runners up there, Kerry.
This is James O'Donovan from the Ula club, the Limerick penalty taker and scorer, of course. Sean Kelly throwing it out, looking for the score chance for PJ Garvey, and PJ Garvey certainly making an impression. He could hardly have thought a week ago that he'd be in a Munster final against Kerry and getting such a good point as the one he's got just then.
An excellent fetch by Donald Fitzgibbon, and a great layoff, and fair play to the young lad that's just stepped into the breach. PJ Garvey with a great presence there just to knock it over.
Double scores, Limerick the leaders, a goal and one to 2 points, that's 4 points to 2. And this is Eugene Leonard, who plays his club football in Kerry with Castle Island Desmond. Well taken by Stephen Stack. Nicely in support was Morgan Nix. That's the second time that Morgan Nix has covered off extremely well. Ambrose O'Donovan, a great ball to Jack O'Shea, who came out from full forward, and Ambrose found him beautifully. A good ball by Jack O'Shea to John Cronin. Turning, kicking, beautifully John Cronin.
Great space inside, Jim. An excellent through ball by Jacko, but the space was left there, and fair play to John Cronin coming in. He had the simplest of tasks of just tapping it over, but it was a fine searching ball by Jacko. There's plenty of space being afforded by the inside forwards of Kerry. They've pulled out the corner forward planning, and with Jacko out, there's a pile of space there. In fact, a goal opportunity could have been there if that had been more support.
John Cronin, first to it. The kick out put the Limerick defender Liam Barrett under a bit of pressure. John Cronin, unselfishly, back to Maurice Fitzgerald. Trying for the point, Maurice Fitzgerald. That's a very good effort. And what a nice pass by John Cronin to set up the score.
Beautiful bit of football there by Maurice Fitz. He just turned the Limerick defender and just nonchalantly just knocked it over with his left foot. One that you would totally expect from Maurice at this stage. But a fine run there by John Cronin, but a bad kick out by the Limerick goalkeeper put his half back under a lot of pressure.
They're level after 12 minutes. Limerick trying to get back into the lead. Danny Fitzgerald, a good ball in. Charlie has that one well covered in the Kerry goal, Charlie Nelligan, and happy enough to concede the 45, even though he's pleading there that a Limerick forward was pulling a Kerry defender.
It looked actually like a square ball, but when you see it the second time around, the Limerick man was actually outside the square before the ball arrived. But fair play to Charlie, he got it out for a 50 under a good deal of pressure.
Well, when these counties met in that famous final in 65, Limerick led by 5 points at half-time. They're back in the lead here again. They got the first goal, a penalty goal, and now they've gone into the lead thanks to that lovely kick by a very, very accurate taker, James O'Donovan. Spillane, first run, Tom Brown giving him too much freedom surely. A good ball through to Pa Dennehy, to Jacko. Kerry playing Pa Dennehy at every available opportunity. Timmy Fleming getting into the action. Philip Danaher. Good close control. A little wild with his delivery, but it can still fall for Limerick. Joe Reddington's delivery was a good one. To Danny Fitzgerald. Off the left foot, Danny Fitzgerald, a great drive, and Charlie could do nothing about that one as Limerick came raiding through the field.
Yes. In the last couple of minutes, Danny Fitzgerald has really come into his own. In fact, the three inside forwards are now buzzing, and I think if Limerick can continue the slight superiority they have in the middle of the park to get the ball in early and to keep the space up front, to go to give the Kerry full back line an awful lot of problems today.
So 4 of the 6 Limerick forwards have scored, including Sean Kelly, number 10. Well covered this time by Kieran Culhan, the star of the Kerry defence in their dramatic defeat of All-Ireland champions Cork. Timmy Fleming coming out the field to leave space for the sharp, fast Pa Dennehy inside. Maurice Fitzgerald wins that one. Brought to ground Maurice Fitzgerald, who has yet to find the target from freeze. Well, Brian McAniff, most people who admire the lovely skills of this footballer, Maurice Fitzgerald, say it would be great to see him in Croke Park on big day.
Well, he's getting every opportunity this afternoon. This is his first simple free, and I think, except for the 14-yard free earlier that was converted, I think that as the game progressed, I think that he'll get more into his stride, because he seems to be a wee bit uptight in forcing his kicks at this stage, but he's too much ability to be playing the way he is, and I see him now returning into the edge of the square. He may be happier inside, I would think.
13 minutes to half-time in a fast, absorbing, thoroughly enjoyable and entertaining Munster final. Danny Fitzgerald getting first run on that one again from Kieran Culhan, who was clearly unsettled in there. That looks a good one from Danny Fitzgerald, and he's really giving Kieran Culhan something to think about.
In fact, the tactic that Kerry have employed there, Timmy Fleming coming out the field, has brought the corner back, Eugene Leonard, and he threaded a very good ball through to Danny Fitzgerald, who took another excellent point with his left foot. Indeed, the entire full forward line is really buzzing for Limerick.
Pat Spillane is always making himself available for the short ball off the hand from Stephen Stack. And a good ball to Ambrose O'Donovan, well found. To the nippy, knacky Pad Dennehy. Getting it on with ever so quickly to Connie Murphy going forward. And the big Limerick following did not like that decision. This once again is Maurice Fitzgerald. He's got a nice one from play. He's got a nice one from a free. He's got two now from frees, Maurice Fitzgerald. Good run by Danny Fitzgerald to get free of Kieran Culhan. Will try to get onto his scoring foot, the left foot. Well, instead, quite unselfishly, he gives the pass inside, and it falls eventually from Sean Kelly to John Quang, Limerick's midfielder, and John Quang gets into the scoring. 4 Limerick forwards and one of their midfielders have now scored. That man is John Quang.
Excellent support coming through from the big red-haired midfielder John Quang, and a fine layoff, and took the ball on the run with the outside of the right foot while going in the opposite direction. Hit an excellent point.
Limerick 2 points up, playing great football, playing with determination and a high level of skill too. Good running, well organised, fit, well prepared Limerick team. But Kerry come back, and Maurice Fitzgerald the man again.
An excellent run, and I see that Limerick have changed Joe Reddington over and brought Paddy Yves over to the corner forward position, but that was an excellent ring and showed Maurice at his best, coming in, striking the ball with it outside with the right foot from the right side over the bar. Beautiful strike from that young Kerry footballer.
Paddy Barrett, the good delivery towards Timmy Cummins. Sean Kelly. Kerry's man-to-man marking not quite working for them. Danny Fitzgerald under a bit of pressure from a second Kerry defender. James O'Donovan from a very, very awkward angle. It was a very ambitious effort, but the finish matched the ambition.
An excellent strike with the ball, the corner forward, James Donovan. But I like the way that Danny Fitzgerald, the hurler, playing there at full forward. They're finding him very, very well, and the lovely layoff and the confidence of the young corner forward to strike the ball from the right side with the right foot. Excellent.
Well, a sign of how serious Kerry are taking this situation now. They've switched their full back. Kieran Culhan, they've taken him out of the half-back line, and Sean Burke from the Milltown Castlemaine club has gone in full back in an effort to curb the looming larger threat of Danny Fitzgerald. of Clahan. Sean Burke's clearance. Paddy Barrett. Long serving Limerick stalwart. That one slipping away from Limerick's scoring hero of the first half, James O'Donovan. O'Donovan is injured as Jack O'Shea goes back there to help. The Kerry captain bidding to lift his team. Timmy Fleming to Jacko. Pat Spillane was looking for it, but he was too close to Jacko, who instead gets a great ball to Pat Dennehy. There's a man gone through. That man is Ambrose O'Donovan. There's a goal here for Ambrose. He tries the chip. It's gone over rather than under the bar.
An excellent piece of play by Jacko, picking up the ball deep in his own 21-yard line, playing it through, and then picking it up again, and had the presence of mind to spot Tad Dennehy, who laid off a very good ball to Ambrose breaking through. Ambrose, I don't know whether he went for the point or went for the goal, but it was a great opportunity to take a major score.
Terrific football in the Munster final. 6 minutes to half-time. John Kwan, one of Limerick's most impressive performers. Danny Fitzgerald, the hop almost beating him, but he did ever so well to get it. A good ball through to Sean Kelly, trying for the goal and getting it. That's a magnificent goal by Kelly.
An excellent strike by the wing three-quarters from Newcastle West. Great support play by Big Donald Fitzgibbons. He sold a dummy, I don't think really meant, but as he turned the Kerry defence one day and with the left foot struck a beautiful goal. Kerry full back line has definitely had a lot of difficulty in containing them in the Limerick inside forwards.
A Kerry defence that was so comfortable in containing the All-Ireland champions Cork, in trouble, in big trouble against Limerick, as Timmy Fleming bids to lift Kerry, but he's put it wide. Kerry still not getting their signals quite right. Timmy Fleming battles hard to win that one. That's a difficult type of shot. John Cronin to Jack O'Shea, who'll try for the point. Jack O'Shea. The angle favoured him, however. He had got a good one from almost the exact position early on in the Munster final.
What a marvellous leader Jacko showing out there today. In spite of conceding a second goal there, Kerry, right up the pitch, and from the very same angle as his earlier point, just nonchalantly tapped it over the bar.
So as we come up towards half-time, we're right on 35 minutes now. Kerry in a bit of trouble, 3 points down. Pat Spillane to try to do something about that. A good ball to Pat Dennehy, leaving it to Maurice Fitzgerald. Maurice Fitzgerald with the confidence to go for the point, but without the accuracy to get it. The story of the first half, Limerick getting off to a dream start, getting a goal from a penalty. They then got a great goal from play. Kerry shot no fewer than 5 wides to Limerick's 1. And Danny Fitzgerald, one of the Limerick men who did a lot of trouble and caused Kerry manager Mickey O'Sullivan to change his full-back. But it hasn't stopped Danny Fitzgerald getting scores like that.
An excellent score by Danny Fitz. He's got a fine left foot, so he has, and even under severe pressure from the new full-back in on him, Sean Burke, he still managed to curl that over.
Four points between them in the Munster final at half-time 26 years ago when Kerry met Limerick in the Munster final last. Limerick led by 5 points. There's one less today, but it's a great lead. 2 goals and 8 points to Kerry's 10 points at half-time. And as they go off at half-time, a huge round of applause all around the ground, no doubt for the efforts of Limerick, just as much for the home side. As the second half underway with Kerry having Sean Burke now at full-back. He switched in there about 2 minutes or so before half-time, and Kieran Calhan has gone out to right half-back. Kerry bidding to curb the threat of Danny Fitzgerald. Timmy Cummins playing that ball through to PJ Garvey.
Yes, I feel that even at the early stage it's important now that Limerick, whatever chance they have, is that they don't tighten up. Because a team of outsiders, normally what happens to them is that they tighten up and then they let the game slip from themselves.
James Donovan has been so good with his free taking in this match so far. Perhaps Brian McInnes, the wind, bearing in mind Maurice Fitzgerald's problem in the first half, the wind might just be a tricky little problem.
It might be more tricky down than it is up here, you know. It's very, very difficult to allow, but he seems to have overcorrected the same thing as Maurice Fitzgerald had in the first half of pulling. He's overcorrected there.
Well driven by Charlie Nelligan, knocked down by a determined Ambrose O'Donovan. No better man to lead Kerry in a crisis than Ambrose O'Donovan. A good ball to Jack O'Shea, who got first run on it. Through towards Pat Spillane on the burst, knocked away from him very well indeed by Tom Brown, but Spillane at the second attempt gets a very good score. Pat Spillane.
I feel that's a very telling score and a very settling score for Kerry, engineered by none other than the two veterans themselves. It'll be very important now that Limerick keep their composure and keep their shape at the back.
The testing early minutes of the second half. Testing for Limerick, who haven't really performed on the big stage before. Testing too for Kerry, who need scores. But there's that man, Maurice Fitzgerald, to lift them, and the cheers ring out all around Fitzgerald Stadium.
Yes, they're getting too much time on the ball. Pat Spillane picked up a very easy break. Maurice Fitzgerald was afforded too much time. You cannot afford to give a player of the status of Maurice Fitzgerald the sort of time he had for that last score.
So a 4-point lead at half-time has been cut to the bare one, and we've not played yet 6 minutes of the second half. Danny Fitzgerald's first touch of the second half. Sean Burke in close attendance. Danny Fitzgerald wants to get it onto the left foot or get a man in support. James O'Donovan, not a good ball in, however. And this is the period that will test the football craft of the Limerick men. Can they hold this game together now? Well, they're still lead, 14 points to 13. Maurice Fitzgerald switching the play intelligently to the left-hand side. Morgan nicks a good ball to Pa Donaghy. The crowd so excited when Pa Donaghy gets possession, but he has to battle to retain it here. A good ball through to Ambrose O'Donovan. Slips a nice one to John Cronin, onto the left foot, drives it over the bar. Kerry are patient. Their supporters might have expected John Cronin to go for a goal, but they're building it up point by point.
Yeah, Ambrose actually laid the ball off, and rightly so there, to the more accurate lad inside, who might well have gone for a goal, but I perfectly agree with what he has done. He's taken the chance to level the game, and I think at this stage that things are looking very, very bleak for Limerick.
To Sean Kelly, who got a great goal in the first half.
I feel, Jim, it would be very important from Limerick's point of view if they could get a score within the next couple of minutes to settle themselves, because they've left the last two balls in Charlie Nelligan's hands, and they're wasting away the limited opportunities they have and the limited possession they have up front. It would be very important to get on the scoreboard as soon as possible.
Well, in the very first minute of the match, this man, James O'Donovan, got a brilliant goal from a superbly struck penalty. He got two lovely frees after that. But this now, a test of nerve as he gets it in, punched in by PJ Garvey. But Kerry have it comfortably contained. Quick flicked passes and a late challenge that won't go unpunished, I feel. The referee, Pat Russell, will let the play go on. He'll see how it develops, but he may go back and speak in a moment or so to a Limerick man. John Cronin through to Jack O'Shea. There's a man running free in the left. That man is Maurice Fitzgerald. He'll bury this one, Maurice Fitzgerald. No, a great deflection by Richard Bowles in the Limerick goal.
An excellent save there. Fine through pass by Jacko to Maurice Fitzgerald. The angle was very, very tight for Maurice to score, but taking nothing away, it was an excellent save from the Limerick keeper.
And as we thought, the referee Paddy Russell has gone back to check what happened a moment ago, and he doesn't even have to consult with his linesman. Referee Paddy Russell was sure of what happened, and he's speaking to a Limerick man. That Limerick man, I think, is James O'Donovan, for a late tackle. Well, the ball was gone and the pain was inflicted, and the pictures told the story again. Ten minutes gone in the second half. Kerry lead in the Munster final. Connie Murphy gave that one to Jack O'Shea, the Kerry captain. He has seen and done it all. He wants more of it, however, Jack O'Shea.
Another excellent point by the Kerry captain, Jacko. At this stage, it's all falling apart for Limerick. Connie Murphy's pushing through midfield and threading some good ball. I see that Timmy Cummins now has come out to the 40 to see if he might contain or cause a lot of problem for Kerry on the 40. But at the way Kerry are playing now, I think that it's not looking so good for Limerick.
Well, it's getting a little harder now for Limerick. This is a crucial period for them. They trail by 2 points, and Kerry have the hunger. None more so than Jack O'Shea.
Yeah, it's looking ominous now at this stage for Limerick. With the amount of time gone, 13 minutes or so gone in the second half, they've yet to register a score, and they're looking very, very bad, really, because as you look inside the 50-yard line, there's only two Limerick players and them playing with a slight wind.
Well, a sign of Kerry's confidence. Jack O'Shea, no urgency to kick that one off the hand. He's left it instead to Maurice Fitzgerald to take from the ground. Just outside the 45, Maurice Fitzgerald strikes it with power and with grace and with deadly accuracy.
Yes, Maurice has definitely found his range now, whether it's easier to kick into that prevailing wind maybe, or there's a swirling wind when you're playing down the pitch, but he's definitely found the range now at this stage.
Limerick are warming up 2 substitutes in a bid to get back into contention in this game. They played so well in the first half. Sean Kelly has a man free to his right, but he'll try for the score himself, Sean Kelly, and he's got the goal. And Charlie Nelligan beaten by the flight of that one. Sean Kelly, his second goal of the Munster final and Limerick's third.
An excellent strike by the Newcastle West man. He powered his way through it. It was a very quickly taken free. It was knocked on, and he came in at very, very great speed. Powered past 2 Kerry defenders and hit it beautifully. Flighted left-footed shot into the top right-hand corner, Charlie Nelligan's net. Maybe this will succeed in lifting Limerick and give us a good second half.
Philip Danaher fought hard to win that one. Morgan Nix to cut it out for Kerry, who needs scores again. Down to John Cronin on that far side of the field. Jack O'Shea had gone to support, but the Limerick backs putting their opponents under a lot of pressure. But Pat Dennehy trying for the point. A good drive by Pat Dennehy. He had his temper up after getting a punch in the first half, and he wanted to get back into this game, Pat Dennehy.
Yeah, he turned Eugene Leonard very, very well, and with the right foot from the left-hand side of the pitch struck a very valuable point again for Kerry to settle him down.
Nola Mahoney to Ambrose O'Donovan going forward. Jack O'Shea called for the pass. A good ball through to John Cronin. It just fell away from him, however. And Kerry, Limerick in a bit of trouble as Kerry come through here. But Paddy Yves eventually gets in a clearance that concedes a line ball.
An awful lot of panic in that Limerick defence is distinct from the first half. The confidence is definitely showing. Lack of confidence is showing now at the minute. Neither of the 3 defenders succeeded in picking up the ball, and then Yves kicked it out over the sideline.
John Cronin's crossfield delivery. O'Mahony leaving it to Ambrose. Leaves it to Maurice Fitzgerald. Lovely turn by Maurice Fitzgerald. Pat Dennehy is inside. This will probably be a free out. The referee is playing on. And there's the point by John Cronin.
Yes, Kerry are definitely firing over the points. 19 points at this stage is quite a total. I feel it's only a matter of time before they breach this Limerick defence for a major score.
Well, a lovely turn there by the skillful Maurice Fitzgerald, and when it broke, Limerick couldn't clear it. It fell to John Cronin, and this youngster who made his name against the All-Ireland champions Cork is embellishing his reputation today. Philip Danaher for Limerick. A good ball through to Tom Brown, the centre half-back rating, but straight into the arms of Charlie Nelligan, and that's a sign that Limerick are still nervous. But there's the substitute putting that one over the bar. A lovely score by Fintan Ryan from Askeaton Ballysteen, coming in as a sub and making a quick impression.
Very, very slack play by the Kerry defender there. Could well have ended up in the back of the net.
Well, moments like this, Brian McAniff must give him manager.
Heart failure is the exact word.
Well blocked by Noel O'Mahony, and his midfield partner Ambrose O'Donovan gets it down. Pat Dennehy surely has the legs on his man here. He'd have to turn him, however. Yves sticks to the task.
Good covering there by Yves, even if it was a little illegal. But fair play to him, he hung in there and he got a sideline kick.
Jacko intercepting, giving it to John Cronin, the Limerick captain. Liam Barrett will be hoping he's not made to pay for that lapse, but he is, by Maurice Fitzgerald.
Yes. Limerick should be very careful with the way they're using that ball out of defence. To kick a ball from the sideline straight to Jack O'Shea is a mortal sin.
Limerick bring in Liam Long for Philip Danaher, as Fintan Ryan, this sub who has done so well since he's come in, gets that ball through to Danny Fitzgerald, onto his favourite left foot and in and over the bar.
An excellent point by Danny. In fact, I fail to see why Limerick aren't threading through more of the ball, and that's an excellent substitution by Limerick at the beginning of the second half. Fintan Ryan.
Danny Fitzgerald then got a lot of quality possession in the first half. He put it to good use. He hasn't got quite so much in the second half, but he's still putting it to good use. All square again in this wonderfully entertaining Munster final. Timmy Fleming, Connie Murphy rather, with Pat Dennehy outside him, but Pat Dennehy will have to go hard at this one. Paddy Yves goes that little bit harder for him. Maurice Fitzgerald, it went over the head of Connie Murphy, but Pat Spillane was there to pick up the pieces and look for the point and get it, and Pat Spillane will enjoy that one.
An excellent point by Pat Spillane. But it has to be said that very, very slack marking here by the Limerick defence is costing him a lot of points.
Well, Kerry simply can't be happy that they lead by only 1 point. I mean, there's a Munster final, there's a Munster title at stake here. This is a Munster final, and their supporters would be far, far happier if they could put the scores on the board. Because every time that Kerry come through, they threaten scores.
Yes, it's rather surprising, really, and in fact, if Limerick had converted the last couple of opportunities instead of messing around in the midfield area, could be a lot. There could be a couple of points up.
So Kerry living dangerously as Maurice Fitzgerald tries one from about 48 metres out or so. A good kick. Well, it's gone in, but it won't count. Pat Dennehy, arms raised aloft seemingly in triumph, but the referee had that one whistled up long before Pat Dennehy celebrated. Well cut out by Kieran Culhane, playing with a lot of determination in the second half. Kieran Culhane, because he had problems in the first half, as Pat Spillane went down that left flank there and got himself a 45. 7 minutes to the final whistle. Maurice Fitzgerald bidding to put Kerry 2 up and succeeding. A pressure kick, and Maurice Fitzgerald was up to it.
Yes, he's really shown his paces here in the second half. I don't know what his total is, but I'm sure it's in excess of 10 at this stage, Jim.
Four minutes to go now. A good ball by Liam Barrett to Timmy Cummins. Danny Fitzgerald had run to the right looking for that one. Danger here for a moment. Fintan Ryan will snap up the point. That he does. And certainly this man has made a big impression, Fintan Ryan, since he came in for Limerick.
It's hard to believe that this man hasn't started on the Limerick side. He's been the one person in the second half for Limerick that's shown a real sense of purpose in the midfield area.
Maurice Fitzgerald, a good little run to take that one off Jack O'Shea. He'll have to go through 2 tackles and a third. Maurice Fitzgerald slips it to Pa Dennehy, knifing his way through Dennehy and putting it badly wide.
A bad miss there by Pa, something you wouldn't associate him, but very fine run from Maurice Fitzgerald from the middle of the field. He really has played an excellent match for Kerry.
And there's the final whistle from referee Paddy Russell. And so the famine of 5 years is over. All's well in the kingdom again. Kerry are Munster football champions for 1991 on a score of 3 goals, or the score of 23 points to Limerick's 3 goals and 12 points. Well, a hard, tough match it was for Kerry. They seemed the better side, but they were never safe until the referee blew that final whistle.
Yes, in fact, if Limerick had not tightened there at the beginning of the second half and that 4-point lead, God only knows how the game would have gone. But in saying that, I felt that Kerry didn't really play to the full potential here today. They seemed to lacking the extra bit of bite that they showed against Cork in the earlier rounds.
A marvellous moment for the Kerry captain Jack O'Shea as he raises the Munster Cup aloft again. And Brian McEnany, for all he's won in the game, Jack O'Shea, and considering that so many people have felt he was in the twilight of his career, this must be a day of immense pride for the great man.
I can well believe it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is probably the sweetest Munster Championship victory, because I played through all the facets of life. He's been a great ambassador of the great game, he's been a great sportsman, and he's been a great footballer.
Well, now, on a day like this, in such a high-scoring game, Brian, and so much incident and drama all through the game, it can't be easy to pick out a man of the match, but you're the one with the job. Well,
to be fair about it, I suppose if you based on the first half, any one of the 3 inside forwards for Limerick or the right 3 quarters could have won it for Limerick. In the second half, the lads seemed to fade due to the fact that the Kerry midfield got on top of them. But throughout the hour, my man of the match had to be Maurice Fitzgerald. His scoring rate, he kept Kerry in touch at a stage when they seemed to be flagging. There were some very good displays by Jacko here on my left and by Pat Spillane, and particularly in the second half by Connie Sullivan. But for me, the man of the match was Maurice Fitzgerald. Well done, Maurice Fitzgerald. Well, Jack O'Shea, you've seen and done it all before, but I know that this is a very sweet victory for you.
Yes, Jim. I was saying to the lads all the week they'd never won a Munster Championship medal. I was going for my 10th today, and I wanted to win that 10th more than anything else. I've grown up with Maurice, seen him grow up from playing under 10, under 12 football, and the one thing I always wanted to do was to play with him. And today I got the chance to play with him and win something together. And we're neighbours at home, and it's a great thrill for everybody in Carsey to see the two of us playing there today.
So a big effort going into preparation for this Munster final, but Jack, in all the circumstances, it was never going to be an easy one.
No, never going to be easy, because it's very difficult to explain to younger players what it takes to win, no matter who you're playing, to motivate them. Against Cork, we had no trouble to motivate the team. We thought this week that we had guarded against any complacency that we had. But I think in the way we played in the first half, but that's not taking away from Limerick. I thought Limerick got an outstanding start. They played tremendous football all the way through the game. They took brilliant scores, and I think on the day Limerick would have beaten a lot of teams, but we had the reserve and the coolness to lie in there. And I think that in the long term, that we got some excellent scores to respond to the Limerick goals at crucial stages in the match. I think that's what kept us in the game.
Now, it was no secret, Jack, that John O'Keefe felt that Limerick could do well if they didn't concede an early goal. Instead, they got an early goal. How did you see the penalty?
Well, I didn't see it from too well from where I was. But I thought probably the underdog will get a break like that, and I would like to see it tonight in television to see exactly what was the cause of the penalty. But from where I was surprised that there was a penalty.
But no doubt about the power with which the kicker James Donovan put into it.
Yeah, it was a great kick. It was a great start for Limerick. You know, that other fellas mightn't have had the nerve to take it. I remember in 1986 I got a chance of a penalty in the first minute, and it's a very difficult thing to do, to stand up to your first kick of the ball. But he put it away with a great shot to Charlie's right.
So Kerry were given quite a fright there by Limerick and getting home by just 2 points. Kerry missed quite a few chances in that game. In fact, they shot 8 wides, twice as many as their opponents. Most of the frees went to Kerry, 21 against 11 for Limerick. They were almost level on 45s, 3 for Kerry and 4 for Limerick. The other championship football match played yesterday was the replay